So the day has finally come. The Tate brothers are now indicted in Romania. They perhaps were hoping that the charges would be dropped. And Tristan Tate wrote that it's finally over. They can finally talk about the so-called evidence against them, which they have been banned to talk about previously. But all the Tate brothers now want is the truth to come out. Their truth, their story to be told. There are 7 women coming forward with detailed information. Charges are trafficking, mainly. They have now sent in their evidence to a judge in Romania, and this judge, he will decide if the evidence is strong enough for the case to go to trial. And in Romania there is no jury system as in the US, but instead it will be handled by several judges. Andrew is quite sure that it's all about taking the money from them, which they actually have done. They've confiscated approximately $380 million worth of goods. They had up until the 29th of June to move forward with their evidence. And the official story is that a rights group called Greta pressured Romania to take action against human trafficking. And another Greta popped up in Andrew's mind. Greta Thunberg, the climate activist. And initially there was a story online that the final puzzle piece that gave the authorities the location of Andrew, that he was in Romania at the time, and taking Andrew, his brother Tristan, and 2 other women and putting them in jail, in lockup. But of course this wasn't true. The authorities have been gathering evidence against him for such a long time. At that point, of course, they knew where they were. And as we stated initially, brothers could only be kept until the end of June, and then they must be released or put on trial. So the Romanian authorities didn't want to let Tristan and Andrew go, since they thought they were a big flight risk. So since April 22, they've been under criminal investigation. At the end of December, they were put in jail, and 31st of March 2023, they won an appeal to end their detention in jail, be placed in house arrest. But there is still no trial date, and this first judge, he will decide if the evidence is strong enough, and then it will be a trial, and there's no juror, but there are judges. And if they are set to go to trial, they might move from house arrest to a holding center or even a penitentiary. And according to these women, they were forced to put on these shows. But according to Andrew Tate himself, they were more in the fraud industry, acting like girlfriends to their customers. The customers paid them a minute rate and they got a lot of donations, and the women would keep 40% of all the earnings. But why did the Tate brothers move to Romania in the first place? According to Andrew Tate, the corruption accessible in Romania, and they had a more of a common sense justice system, opposite to UK and US, where these so-called rape allegations were pursued a little bit too vigorously. And the reason for this, of course, is that in UK in 2015, Andrew had 2 charges in this nature dropped. So it was 1 claim of rape and 1 claim of suffocation. And prior to the arrest, they started to show some signs of paranoia in all its rights, given the outcome of what happened. To publicly say that a country is corrupt, that will put the Tate brothers in the focus of investigations, of course. And a guy with that many million followers will upset the big guys. And Andrew Tate was quite unspoken, both on social media and on his course, The Hustlers University, about grooming women, that they should feel like girlfriends. They would get them drunk, they would have sex together with them in front of a camera, and then another night they would drink a lot more together with more women and have a threesome together and videotape that one, and then the woman starts taking over and grooming them into becoming these sex show artists. But maybe that's not the full story. Let's see what Tate brothers will show their side of the story. But it feels like, but they have been stating that what they have been doing are big scams, that the women are pretending to be girlfriend to their customers. But Andrew Tate states that it's not really about the sex shows. It's about getting a connection between the girls and the customers, that they have a girlfriend experience, which means that the customers would tip them a lot. And Andrew stated that it's not even the girl in front of the camera that does the writing. The keyboard that the keys on is not even connected to the PC. There are other non-sex workers writing all the messages and keeping track of all these customers. Women in front of the camera didn't know any English, and there were fluent English speakers writing to them to pretend to be in the UK or wherever the customer. So this is the official press release from DCOT the other day, the 20th of June. So if you want to read all this, be my guest. So I just want to say thank you for listening in. See you another time. Bye.